They'll be calling you a radical, so it's the NFL draft. Somebody's got to get down and dirty into the trenches. Let's get in the trenches for the NFL draft, and let's talk about the reality. So, Maxwell gave me this. The only one of these players that give a shit, you know. I prop them up and do all that dirty work because there's no media here. Somebody's got to fucking do it for them. So, the NFL draft coming up. So are they going to continue to ignore Big Sky schools? Are they going to continue to ignore Weber State? They can't. They can't. Rashid Shaheed? Oh, yeah. But what about, they say he threw the first pitch out of the Padres. You know, I was in San Diego the whole time. Nobody promoted Rashid Shaheed harder than I did here. Nobody. But like I told everybody, when he gets the new contract next year, he's making the league minimum. Yeah, Pro Bowler. I says, fuck, he won't even know anybody's name. Say TJ, same with Teron Johnson. People forget about Teron Johnson. Here, right here, in this legendary turnaround. Oh, yeah. Highest paid nickelback in NFL history. Here, Weber State. J Hill. How about Jonah Williams? J Hill. Now, all these said guys, nobody wanted him. Nobody. J Hill come in and turned this Titanic piece of shit programming around at Weber State, and he went and got, the guy's got the greatest eye for talent in history. He went after guys that nobody wanted. Nobody wanted Rashid Shaheed to play football. He was a track guy. Only scholarship offer, Weber State. TJ, Teron Johnson, only scholarship offer, Weber State. How about Jonah Williams? Only scholarship offer, Weber State. Opeta's playing for the Buccaneers now. Jonah Williams for the Vikings. I look for big years out of them both. Only person that gave him the scholarship, Weber State. J Hill. So, speaking of J Hill recruits, Eddie Heckard. Weber State. He BYU now. So Collins has bolded, gone to BYU, J Hill. So Jack Kelly has bolded here, gone BYU. Abraham Williams. Now there's the guy you kind of keep your eyes on. He's bolded to Idaho of all places. J Hill. I mean, you go think unbelievable. And everybody was talking to me the other day, and I says, well, you know why J Hill, Andre Dyson, who could be the best DB coach in the country, DBU, born and raised here. Yeah, that Andre Dyson, the NFL. And I was just thinking about the University of Utah in that great 2008 team, where they went undefeated, which they went retro and made them the national champions, all the computer models. So, only undefeated team in the country that year. But you go back to the late 90s when it was Steve Smith, the greatest player in the history of the University of Utah. Well, who did Andre Dyson and J Hill have to defend in practice every day? Steve Smith. How is Steve Smith not in the fucking Hall of Fame? Steve Smith, you know, was that his first touch? No, I think that was the second game, wasn't it? I don't know. Or was it? When he ran the kickoff back to start his career for the Panthers, and then, fuck, can you believe that guy? And like I said, mess with that dude. Oh, that's the baddest, toughest fucker. I met him. I shook his hand. Fuck, he's my size. Fucking arms like tree trunks. TJ, I was just talking to my grandson. He's in New York. Found a horseshoe crab last night at Coney Island. But the athlete who's friends with all these guys, he's a little boy right there, sitting right there. And I used to sit right under the Bank of Utah. Yeah, those oligarchs. Yeah, the war profiteers. Yeah, that one. That's them, the Browning Arms Bank. So I sit right underneath there and do the play-by-play for this horrible, horrible nightmare team. J Hill comes in here and turns the most cruel. The NCAA gave him the death penalty. They appealed it, got up. J Hill comes around here and turns the Titanic around. First one, the very first recruit. Really, nobody's more paramount in the legendary turnaround of Weber State football than TJ, Teron Johnson. And he did get drafted late. There was a coach here. There was an ex-linebacker coach. I remember he had ties with the Bills. And I remember him telling me, because the Bills were horrid, he said, no, we got a bunch of good young talent, man. We're going to turn this thing around. You know, I watched him play at University of Wyoming. I paid attention. He was good, really good. But TJ here, he wasn't a big pick six guy. He wasn't a rip your head off guy. Technique guy. Yeah. Well, the first year he played here, they won one home game against Stephen Austin. Yeah. I'm sitting there with my grandson trying to do the play-by-play. I'm full of cancer. I'm plumb full of cancer. I'm out of the gun. He's with me. He's a little, oh, God, he's a 3-year-old. And so, crawling out of he'd get down onto the track, literally, during the game. Cheerleaders at holding, babysitting. I remember TJ picked him up one day. I got a picture somewhere with him. You know, and the team was so bad. I'll tell you when I knew they'd turned it around. Jay Hill turned it around. So Cooper Kupp. The best cup secret in fucking football. Big Sky football. It's all that, then some. So Cooper Kupp's and Eastern Washington scoring 50 points a game. Cooper Kupp's scoring 5 times. And he's a local, went to his local school. Could be the greatest player in Big Sky history. Yeah, he could be. Cooper Kupp. Why he played, not his career in the NFL. That's, I mean, Super Bowl MVP. So they're scoring 50 a game. Cooper Kupp's scoring 5 touchdowns a game, every game. He's just shattering every record in the history of the school. He's kind of like Trevon Smith was here. Who's that? I think the closest game in 2008 that freaking they had was McBride playing against back there. His old team with Trevon Smith. So anyway, the game is 13-7. Weber State's ahead at Eastern. There's that famous photograph where he's just diving, TJ, and he misses the ball by about half a millimeter of an inch, and Kupp scores, and they win 14-13. That's when I knew Weber State had turned. I knew that Jay Hill was all that defense. Well, like you said, when you have to play DB against Steve Smith in practice every day, so did Andre Dyson. You know, DBU here. So speaking of DBU here, I talked to Collins. I says, you know, 15 years ago, you wouldn't have got the time of day with a size like yours is. But it's all speed and technique now. The NFL's changed. It's not Jack Tatum, rip your head off. They won't let that. You know, they can't. I mean, good God. I mean, talk about people getting physically, mentally destroyed. The NFL, beyond brutal for decades. So it's about speed now and technique. That's Teron Johnson. And so I says, you're a Teron Johnson. This guy reminds me more of Teron Johnson than anyone. I did the play-by-play in San Diego in his first game. The Rashid Shaheed Bowl. I knew where Rashid was right off the get. I'm the only guy on earth that was promoting Rashid in those days. The only one. Of course, he's forgot my name. You know, I do all the work, whatever. I take the high road. They take the money. So anyway, whatever. So Maxwell Anderson, I'm doing the play-by-play in San Diego. And it's 6-0. The best defensive performance in Weber State football history was that game. I know it was early in San Diego State, too. I mean, it was a 0-0. I mean, finally 6-0 is what it was, San Diego State. Weber State was shutting them down. All I called was a freshman called Maxwell Anderson. Maxwell Anderson on the tackle. Maxwell Anderson on the tackle. Maxwell Anderson. It's 6-0. I'm like, you know, it's Rashid Shaheed's 18th birthday or 19th birthday. He used to pup. And I'm like, this game is even, Weber State can't move the ball. They're one Rashid Shaheed kick return from winning this game. No sense. Then I sent it. Boom, there it goes. I says, Rashid Shaheed has gone to Tijuana. Weber's going to win 7-6. The phantom flag comes from nowhere out there. There was no penalty there. And anyway, Maxwell Anderson, I still say, because they don't keep track of the stats. I mean, I did for KWCR, but I was full of cancer. The KWCR signal's right there. When I got cancer in 2011, they sold off the signal. Why? For $25,000. Because we're the #1 investigative journalist radio station, college radio station in the United States. It was Ogden's radio station. We had investigative journalism all over. We were the best in the state. They were trying to get rid of it. They waited till I got cancer and I was in the bone marrow transplant center dying. They had never got away with it. So we went digital. You know, and of course, they got rid of that. But I'm bringing it back right now. Got a couple young guys that are getting prep. They're good. They're going to take it over next year. They'll be back. So Maxwell Anderson, I still say, has the school record for the most tackles in a single game as a freshman. He reminds me of TJ more than anyone. If I become king, what would you do? First king of the world. Ban car alarms and weed blowers. More car alarms been in San Diego, wasn't that how nice is? We invented Daryl Isis. Don't get me going on that guy. I'm gonna work in San Diego, San Onofre, you know, Nuclear Youth Stadium, the only stadium named after a woman. So Maxwell Anderson, do you think he'll go in the draft? Winston Reed, Carter, the center, you know, Noah Tagi. How can they continue to, well, they don't ignore. I mean, is it conspiracy? Oh, come on. Why would you draft him when you know that Deion Sanders is right? They don't draft players like that so they can get them on the practice squad. And if you don't think his story, tore his ACL right there on his last play. You know, I told him I wouldn't play before the game, but anyway, they put him on the practice squad because they could. Rashid Shaheed, Pro Bowl. Rashid Shaheed, Pro Bowl. Making the league minimum, non-drafted. Making the league minimum. That's what this is all about. It's all about the money. Why would you draft a guy and then have to freaking, go through when we could just stick him on the practice squad and put him on a practice contract? Well, that's what they do. They did it with Jonah Williams. They did it with Adam Rodriguez. They did it with Opeta. They did it with Rashid Shaheed. They did it with every Weber State player. They even did it with TJ. Well, he got drafted. So I'll prove it. I went to Pro Day. I had to say way in the back because this program, I don't like this head coach anymore. I really don't. Well, the athletic department makes me want to throw up here. The biggest disappointing seasons in the history of Weber State school basketball and football this year, 2023. Oh, don't get me going. You can't win with Dylan Jones, first round NBA high. Well, they couldn't win with Damian Lillard. But football, they were winning. Winning. Nice birdie. Why wouldn't they promote Coach Myers? Then Bev, excellent. Why wouldn't they promote Andre Dyson to Hick? I mean, they got plenty. Why would they find a high school guy in Ohio? And they were picked top 10 in the country, and they won one game at home all year. Idaho. Abraham Williams there. So, can they continue to ignore Weber State players? Will they draft Maxwell? Put him on the practice squad. Does it matter? Winston Reed, does it matter? I'll tell you why it doesn't really matter. Get your foot in the door because it's been proven over and over. Look at him. He's at the Broncos now. He's from here in Utah. Remember, these number one picks, these first-round picks have been giant flops in the NFL. Historically, draft choices are giant flops in the NFL. I mean, Tom Brady won 199th. But the NFL draft, the combine is a joke. People don't even go to the combine anymore. Did you know that? Tom Landry invented it. Cornell Green. Who's that? Oh, a basketball player from Utah State. I mean, the legend. Let's fire him. The legend. Through the media. Fucking Cowboys. Speaking of the Cowboys, there were two TJs on this team. They both played in the NFL. The other TJ, the linebacker, played in the NFL for the Chargers and the Cowboys. So, Cahill has Adam Rodriguez could play in the NFL anytime he wanted. He says, I want to play. He's just tearing it up in the UFL now. It used to be the USFL. Going crazy. So, Maxwell Anderson, he's the biggest steal you ever got. He might be exactly what's wrong, and his numbers prove it. You got Andre Dyson and Jay Hill. Jay Hill was a DB at the University of Utah. Great one. Whittingham screwed him over. And Andre Dyson, they were DBs together. They would have to play against in practice every day. How the fuck is Steve Smith not in the Hall of Fame? Oh my God. My favorite player in that era? Oh, fuck yeah. Love that guy. I remember because I was doing postgraduate work there at the time. Blah, blah, blah. Is he the greatest player in University of Utah history, Steve Smith? Him or Larry Wilson? Who's that? Here, the greatest player in history here, Rashid Shaheed. Probably now it was Trevon Smith. Teron Johnson. He's so paramount in the. And what he's done blows my mind. Guys paid nickelback, undrafted. Nobody. Well, he was drafted. Nobody wanted him. Jay Hill. Jack Kelly would be another one. The BMX bike rider. Jay Hill gave these guys all. Nobody wanted him. They turned this from the last place pathetic team to a national powerhouse. What an era. I'm fighting cancer at the time, so leukemia. So I knew what Rashid Shaheed was, and I promoted Rashid harder than anyone. They never used Rashid properly here. Never. I used to get the fucking ball to Rashid. I would scream it. I started the chant there. We had the chant there. Get the fucking ball to Rashid. We knew what he was. I did. I drafted. And everybody says, oh, we knew too. No, you didn't. You didn't know fucking shit. That's why I fucking signed a practice squad made by that fucking far. His story blows my mind. So does TJ's. So, how about, we'll see Jonah Williams now. He's in Vikings. How about Opeta? He's local. Opeta at Pro Day broke the fucking rep record. I think 7 or 8 reps. They put 225 on the bar. I think he broke the all-time Pro Day record. Should have seen Pro Day over there this year. fuck? Because no one ever goes. I go. It's fucking. You know, I really thought Josh Davis would be in the NFL, but they played on that death turf, that bad rug that was put in 2011. Oh, that thing was horrid. You know, but they got a new rug. Disappointing season last year, but they got athletes. Winston Reed's a badass. Do not kid yourself. He'll be great NFL player. He reminds me a little bit of Ray Lewis. He's TJ, I'm telling you. So Carter, the center. Well, Coach Myers, about time. You know, he's Opeta. Fuck, Opeta's a badass. Coach Myers is a great coach. You know, they have great assistant coaches here. You know, so we'll see. Abraham Williams up at Idaho, that's next year. So, will they drop Big Sky players? Why would they? You can put them on the fucking practice squad. Just remember, Rashid Shaheed is playing for the league minimum to this day. Most dynamic player in the freaking league? No doubt. No doubt. So somebody's got to get down into the fucking trenches and do the fucking dirty work. You panic. This is fucking football. Oh, what's his name that owns the Dub Club? That fucking douchebag says, oh, you say fuck too much. Fuck. This is football. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking... You ever went to a practice? You ever been to a football practice? Have you ever been to one? Fuck. You ain't seen intense. If you can't handle the word fuck, you shouldn't be playing football. It's fucking... Do not kid you. This sport is fucking brutal. Do not kid yourself. So go, Maxwell. We'll see. Get his foot in the door. Be the best bargain you ever had, I think. He gave me that. After the last game, I walked right over there, and his dad was over there. Maxwell was in full year, and he says, come here, Blanche. He says, we got something for you. And he threw that, and he signed it right there for me. Thank you for everything you've done. That's the only player that's ever thanked me here. You know, and they can take all their fucking money and whatever, because they know I was fighting cancer. I was back to Lillard. Lillard knew me. I was on the campus fighting fucking cancer, almost fucking dead, and his billion gazillion. Well, good luck with your money. I hope you win it. You know, Dylan's fucking... Jones is all that. We love that guy. He's always been so nice and respectful to me. So is Maxwell. What respect. By the way, Dylan Jones is an Arthur Ashe guy. You know, I remember one day we're standing there and he's like, God, Blanche, I got to check my grades. You know, we're at the fan day and we're sitting there visiting. Not many people had went 2 years ago. And he said, I got to check my grades. Okay. You want to see him, Blanche? And I says, yeah. Oh, you're a 4-0-er. Yeah. He's all that, and everybody says, "Oh, he'll go late second round." For fuck, he was going fucking early first round last year. You know what's good? He'll go way earlier than you think. So this will be a bargain. I think if you know he's Teron John, Winston Reed. Will they draft? I don't know. Carter, the center. I don't know. But Jay Hill, just the fact the NFL played a clip on week 5, I believe, in the NFL, and 3 of the top 5 plays. The top 5 plays in week 5, I think it was week 4 or 5. With Weber State. Jonah Williams with the long sack, TJ with the tip to save the game, and then, of course, Rashid at Lambeau leap ran to the house on the punt return. Think about Rashid Shaheed making the league minimum, Pro Bowl, the most dynamic player in the fucking NFL. He's making the league minimum. That's why they don't draft him, because they can. All right, we'll see. And how the fuck is Jamie Martin the only name up there? Are you kidding? And I like Jamie. He was a great fucking player. Don't kid yourself. He's a fucking... I like him, but he's not the best player in the history of this school. That'd be Trevon Smith was until Rashid Shaheed. Fuck, you need a whole line there. You need Teron Johnson, Rashid Shaheed. Well, a big sign right up the top. Jay Hills guys. Opeta. Jonah Williams. Adam Rodriguez is the greatest defensive player I ever saw here. You can go back to the fucking days of Lee White, you know. Scott Shield, I mean, you know, I like Jimmy, but I'd put him in the top 10, but not number 1. That'd be Rashid Shaheed and Teron Johnson. Jonah Williams. Mr. Opeta. Adam Rodriguez. There's somebody running the stairs. It's the last time I saw Willard was right there running the stairs just a couple years ago in this funky-ass green suit. So, as I told, I did a video right there at the end of Rashid's. I've interviewed him, even with the torn ACL. He interviewed and talked to me. The only one that did it. It's the only one out there. I said, I want to ask you what number you want up there. He said, what are you talking about? I said, your number will be the next one up there. That's why he was still playing. I did that interview. Because he wore 8 and 22. The new Bob Hayes. So, good luck, Maxwell. In the draft. Good luck. Winston Reed, Mr. Kida Smida. You know, they'll all play in the NFL. Good luck, Mr. Heckard, down there at freaking BYU. You know, they're badasses. DBU. Stand tuned.